In our previous episode, we caught up with our friends Paul and Lynn from sailing at Ella in Calha Box and Calha Mastellum, where we got a taste of the real food of the Balearics at Ibiza. It was now time for all of us to move to our next stops. We were going to round the northwest of Ibiza, passing between the island of Ibiza and Tagomago Island, on our way to Portinaz, our last stop before crossing to Mallorca, while our friends were going back to the area of Ibiza to pick up some friends.
Too hard. So many jellyfish. Too many to make it interesting to get in the water, huh? Too many to get in the water. So, here we are in the bay. We've just gone for lunch. We could park, people could park anywhere in this entire bay. Anywhere. And what does he do? He goes and parks right on the bow of our boat. And now we can't even enjoy our lunch because we have deep concerns that he might drift back onto us. And calm is restored. The people that anchored too close, after a discussion, decided to leave. There was a disagreement, but in the end they realised they'd made a mistake and they moved on. So this is our last night in Ibiza before we move on to Mallorca. And it's a beautiful evening. Yes, we have some rolling in the anchorage, but that's okay.
So there's a big storm coming in, affecting Mallorca and Ibiza. And we crossed to Mallorca from Ibiza yesterday. We anchored in Santa Polsa, but we thought it was not protected enough, so we moved out to this other quilla. It was pretty full when we got here, but some of the boats have left. However, this is what we have now. It's completely full. All the boats showing now on the video are day trippers. There's this massive ferry that has an anchor that's probably the size of our dinghy against the rocks. And the best of all, there's that catamaran over there that has like, what? I don't know, 40 people on board maybe? I don't even know. It's ridiculous. And I guess this is all I thought the Balearics would be. And the funny thing is that it's not even summer, it's not even sunny. But yet, full of people. It's weekend, Saturday, they're all here. Everyone's here.
Okay, so it's very late in the evening, just about to go dark. We're expecting a big storm in the morning, the wee hours of the morning. So we're in a triple calha, and we've got some boats here that are facing one direction. They're facing out to sea, all of them. And so that's the first calha. Well, the first two. And we're facing the opposite direction, where there's another calha in here, and that boat's facing another way again, and then these guys are facing the same way as us. But it's really interesting to see how the wind, oh by the way, they're burial sites for, apparently, for some famous people in the old world. So I've just done a complete circle, taken a minute. I'm bouncing around because that's the sea and that's the back of the boat. looking out to sea. But we're not facing the same way as these guys. They're all facing the opposite way. So let's see how tomorrow morning pans out when the storm hits. Okay, so here's the wind for tonight. We're looking specifically at the wind gusts. We're expecting a storm tonight. Right now it's 10 knots. Lovely. Wind gusts at 10 knots coming from the south, pretty much.
East.
2200. So it's
and the
getting late in
space
the evening.
only open to southeast where we are.
So to give you an idea, we're in this tiny little...
Fingers in the front.
We're in here.
Yep.
We're about right there.
Yep. Okay.
There. That's where we are. I'm going to play and pause as we go, and if you look down the bottom here, 20 knots, 30 knots, 40 knots, 60 knots. So of wind. A gusting wind, yep. So 23, 1 a.m, 2 a.m, 3 a.m, 4 a.m.
Looks like a rainbow.
Looks like a rainbow. Wind gusts are at 23 at 4 a.m, 5 a.m, 6 a.m.
Past 36, 38 just
Oh,
before.
just come back.
Yeah,
So
it's
8,
a bit difficult. Yeah.
38 at
38.
5 a.m. 5 a.m. So we're going to get a really big wind. 7 a.m. So it looks like we've been bruised. 8, 9, 10, 33, 11, 12, 27. Oh, it's going to get really hard. 32, that's 4 o'clock. And 30, and it'll finally settle down tomorrow, 8 a.m.
Monday.
Sorry, Monday at 8 a.m.
So tomorrow
The
is
wind
going
gusts
to
will
be
drop.
a difficult day starting at the early hours of the morning. So this is the forecast, but the forecasts since we arrived at Balearics are not very accurate.
It's a bruising
because,
it's a bruising weekend. So I'm gonna span out now. I'm gonna do it from a distance. Well, that pretty much tells the story.
Yeah. Mallorca is going to be apparently seriously hit.
Hopefully that's the end of it.
And hopefully then they turn summer on.
Yeah, we've been waiting for summer for a while. Sunrise in Mallorca.
So this is it after last night's storm. Actually this proved to be a very good spot. We could hear the wind going up the mountains, but not really feel it, so it was actually a peaceful night, except for the fact that we were very worried. If we had not been so worried, that would be probably one of the best nights at anchor ever. That's how little the boat moved. And this is how the bay looks now. The cala, let's say. Yeah, so this cala has this historical site that seems like it's not very protected or preserved, but kind of interesting, I guess. Those caves over there, artificial caves over there, apparently were dug by the Phoenicians and were used as slums. So I guess we can go there and see those. And the access is not that hard. We're still suffering a bit of a swell from the storm last night, but the access apparently is done through this little beach. There's a set of stairs over there, and then you just walk on the rocks. There's a like trail, and you can go all the way to the Thames. So we arrived Mallorca 2 nights ago. We stayed initially at Santa Ponza, but there was a storm coming, so we had to look for a storm hole to hide from the storm itself. We found this little calla described as a triple calla. It's quite pretty, but yesterday was absolute madness with all the tourists. But anyway, here it is now that it's morning and the storm's passed by. I don't know why they call it a triple calla. I would call it a quadruple calla, but maybe my Spanish is not that good. So it has this little beach here, this little beach here, and we keep going, and there's another beach here, very small one, and another one over there. It's quite a pretty place. Yeah, so those are the Phoenician tombs. I'm hoping to go there later today, maybe when I take Ella out. So it's a lovely blue sky today, and it is now 1 o'clock. We've already used the coffee machine 3 times today. We already did 1 hour of water maker, so 60 liters, and we're just now starting another hour of usage to make a little bit more, because we kind of I think we need maybe to run it 3 times today to catch up with the spending of the last couple of days. And this is where we are. This is brilliant. We're facing south, 100% batteries. All the DC power that we're using is currently being provided by the solar, so by the time we finish, we're still going to be at 100%, which is great news. And then as for the water, the not very reliable thing that we have says that we are roughly, this is not very accurate, but we're almost half tank. We do have 2 other tanks that are full, but we try to only use this one. So I'm hoping to do at least 1 more hour of water maker today, maybe 2, and a machine load. That would be brilliant. Let's see how it goes. Slow down. Slow. Now that the stress of the storm was gone, it was time to finally explore the tombs up on the cliffs. And although getting there with Ella was a bit tricky, the view paid off. Unfortunately, the same cannot be said from the tombs themselves. Very degraded, plenty of rubbish, the result of little to no protection. It was now time to enjoy the beginning of summer, the flavors of a nice seafood paella at the beach, and relax.
Juice together. Gotta re-get my juice.
Do you want to do mine? So John's being a good Samaritan. We just noticed that this little dinghy with very small engine left his boat, and then his engine stalled and he started drifting outside of the bay, like really fast because it's a bit of wind. And he put out the oars and started paddling. However, he was pretty much not going anywhere. with his efforts. So John went and kind of rescued him. For some reason we have this maritime rescue boat from, I'm assuming, the Spanish authorities, and he's been kind of inspecting the entrance of the bay. This is maybe what, his fifth round. Not sure what's going on. We didn't see any problem yesterday or even today, but we did saw some divers today with those little torpedo 8 motors coming out of the water a bit of in a rush, so not sure if they spotted something. It's kind of less than an hour difference between them and this guy, but there you go. Rescue mission to the Hanse. John on the rescue.